A wonderful greetings to you viewers wherever you are in Lagos State and of course in Nigeria. We really want to say a wonderful welcome to you on this program, The Honorable. Of course, this program comes to you every week to talk about cogent issues of happenings around town and also to know what is actually going on in the politics of our country. Sometimes we talk about several sundry issues that will bog your minds. Today, we shall be considering a topic on education and how it affects us, how certain associations are coming to ensure that educational activities is given a first leaps. Prince Will Awa is my name. I will be your anchor for today. Of course, I want to ask that you stay tuned. After this time, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Chai, what be this? If you do this again, which kind of country where man picking live so?
Abba, not be so now. You self know say God bless this country with plenty resources, food, oil, everything dey. Now only if our leaders feel use them well, and we say we help them work hard, talk better about this country, Nigeria. Things go better. Now only good people feel make a great nation, and now from you it will start.
Yeah, welcome back. Many people are of the opinion that education, of course, is the key to success because they feel until you are educated, you cannot do something orderly. That is correct. I don't know whatever it is you do, but try to get yourself educated. If it is something vocational, do it excellently. Of course, if you're privileged to be in school, do it equally in the spirit of excellence. Of course, success will just be very close to you. Before we went on that break, I told us we'll be considering something on education today. And right with me in the house, I have two powerful honorable men that have distinguished themselves out to be part of this program in this honorable program today. They will be talking about the progress, the challenges, and what to do otherwise to really make education to be very affordable and easy to cope with. Right in the house today, I have some gentlemen from an association called the International Association of Private Schools Proprietors and Proprietaries. Of course, they are here to say some things as regard how that association should be better than it was before. Join me to welcome Mr. Olumide Oladipo. Close to me, he happens to be the incoming president of Lagos State INTAPS. Good to have you in this program, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. And also in that same line, I have a powerful man that is coming with him. As a matter of fact, he happens to be one of the founding fathers of that association. Join me to welcome Comrade Amos Adediji. He happens to be the Board of Trustee Chairman of this association. Good to have you, sir.
Happy to see you.
All right. Many are of the opinion that Nigeria is having some challenges in the late. Are you in agreement with all this? Or there are mere speculations that are...
Without any doubt.
Okay.
Everybody knows that Nigeria is undergoing security threat. There is no doubt about it.
Okay.
And that is as a result of lack of good education.
Okay.
To the particular area where this thing is in operation.
Okay.
An average Nigerian that is educated will not take laws into his hands and be doing all this type of security threatening.
Okay.
So I believe
you are of the opinion that that is your opinion.
That is my opinion.
All right, sir. Let me ask from the incoming president as a presiding officer of this association. Hope your coming to this studio was not that difficult.
Though it is challenging, you know, traffic in Nigeria, traffic in Lagos especially, but we thank God you are here.
All right. They are here to discuss the way forward of that association that was mentioned in my intro. Let me ask the Board of Trustee Chairman as is in the meeting today. So what actually is education?
Education is passing knowledge across to people, either formally, informally, and non-formally.
Okay.
Immediately you are passing knowledge, you are impacting knowledge on another person, you are educating that person.
Okay.
Education does not mean writing and reading alone. It goes beyond that. Acquisition of knowledge, acquisition of wisdom, and the understanding makes people to be known that he is educated.
Okay. Because in our country, it is very, very easy to look at professors and those in the academia saying that they are more educated than the common carpenter who is making the chair that the professor sits. Sir, what will you say on this?
Well, that is from the African balance of view.
Okay.
In the first world countries, you see the wife being a professor and the husband a carpenter, and they rub both for it. It is because we have misplaced our priorities, but tracing only on paper qualification. In the academia today, there are so many paths to academia. So if we really want to make it, we have to go down, we have to go back to the basics. When we go back to the basics, we discover that for each school, for each area of learning, I could remember in the days of Awolowo, there was what is called farming extension. Each school has something that is giving back to the society. When I was in secondary school, my school had the poultry farm, where we sell to the community. We have rabbitry and some other things. We have farm for cassava farm, vegetable farm, and so on. But today, how many of our schools do that? Because our thinking is only on phonics. We want to speak like a Briton. But why not go back and see what Ghana, our neighbor, they have done right that we have not done? 6334, the way it was supposed to be is that you merge technicality with academic prowess, so that by the time you go out of the school, you are supposed to be a self-made man. And when you are not a self-made man and you are just carrying something that every other person is carrying, what differentiates you from the society? Then we now say we have Yahoo boys, because they are disoriented. Education, mal-education was what they got from school.
All right. That is it from the incoming president, talking about the other side of education itself. And now let me go back to the chairman that is right in the house. Many people in our leadership give priorities to phonics education, and this is what is really affecting the vocational educations in Nigeria. What is the danger of this?
That is error of the highest order. Error of the highest order in the sense that we are laying emphasis on abstract things, not things that can bring concrete result to us. And that is why you see so many families, they will instruct their children not to speak their own mother language at home. That one is not the type of education that we are talking about. When we are talking of education, we talk education that will bring the practical things that we need, what the country needs, what the state needs to the community. So phonology or phonics or whatever they call it, or tunation, is not what we are talking about. And I think in our curriculum of education, the emphasis is not laid on that.
All right, thank you. I got to understand that you own a private school, and the incoming president of this INTAP also own a private school. Over the number of years you've been in this school, what has been the major challenges, and what led you to the formation of this association called the INTAPS? Let me speak with the incoming president, please.
INTAPS, like I rightly understand, is as a result of necessity, born out of the desire to stay afloat when the government of the day try to circuit us. But at the end of the day, it has grown into a formidable organization whereby we are able to rub minds, because there's a saying that two good heads are better than one. So when we meet, we rub minds, we educate ourselves, and we, apart from education, we are able to spotlight some things that ordinarily one would not have seen or would not have known how best to do or tackle. So, but when we come together every fortnightly, we discover that things have become better and better on a daily basis.
Okay. So is the government, the authority in individual state giving support to the institution like this, considering the factors and the policies of the academic in the states?
Every government in power knows that the private schools are giving a service that they have not given. Okay. A service of taking education to the grassroots. A service of servicing those areas that were neglected. A service of catching them young. It's like a three-way thing. Number one, you are giving education. Number two, you are mopping up the unemployment market by giving employment. Number three, you are giving what is called community responsibility. Some of us will give water to our community. Some of us we come together to repair roads leading to our ends. If it's not asphalt, we bring broken blocks together. We bring what do you call this, laterites. These are some of the things we do,
which the government have neglected over the years. All right, sir. Let me move to the chairman in the house. Tell us, who is qualified to be a member of this association?
As long as you are a school owner.
Okay.
If you are a proprietor or proprietress of school, you are qualified to be a member.
Okay.
That is the first criteria. Any other thing is where you come in.
All right. But I understand very, very deep that most of the sons and the daughters of the men and women in our government hardly do not belong to some of these private schools we run in our nation. What really happened?
They don't belong to...
They don't go to schools somehow here in our country.
Okay.
So what happened?
They know what the policy is good. If you are talking about policy. But those people to implement it, they know that there are so many frustrations in teaching and learning processes in Nigeria. As a result of that, they know what they are doing that is not good and is not right and cannot sustain their own children, in quote. And that is why they say, let me take my children to other country, so whatever happens to the children of the other people is none of their business. Until our constitution says, if you are a minister, a commissioner, or whatever post you have, your children must learn in Nigeria. Should not go before things will begin to go.
Are you seeing the possibility of putting such into law?
Because they are the one making laws. No, they will not put it. But until Nigeria gets to that stage,
all right,
because gradually we are going there.
All right, take us to the early days of the formation of these INTAPs. Take us to the early days. How did it all happen as the chairman?
There was, don't let me mention names, there is during the regime of about 3 tenures ago of a governor, under a commissioner, one doctor, don't let me mention his name, they are influenced by BB schools, that their students are no more, their school are no more growing, and it is as a result of what they call mushroom schools in those days. They believe that immediately they increase the school fees, these parents will take their children to newly established schools, which they call mushroom. That is why they penetrated into the government, and they said they are going to abolish mushroom schools, forgetting that their own school started small. And when we discovered that we cannot fight this battle, a single person cannot fight this battle, so we called ourselves together and we had a series of meetings and we went to court. Before the court said the school, any school can be operated even under the mango, under the tree, because in those days,
please just let the viewers hear the song very, very well.
Lábẹ́ igi òrombó, ibẹ̀ la ti ń ṣeré wa, ara wa yá, inú wa dùn, and so on and so forth.
So what is the meaning?
The meaning, that's what is that we learn, we play under the orange tree.
Okay.
We learn, the school children in those days, that was our usual song. Okay. Meaning that you can learn anywhere under the tree.
All right. So this is what led to the
formation
of this association.
All right. Came together.
All right. Let me go back to the incoming. In fact, not incoming. He is the president of this association in Lagos State. Yes. Meaning, all these are talk today is directly under his portfolio. Yes. He will preside.
Yes.
Fine. We pray you will not fall.
Amen.
All right. Then let me ask you, sir. While the chairman was talking, he made mention of the mushroom schools. Why will that name be used?
You see, in Nigeria, there is a coinage for everything with the test.
That the authority is not involved.
Because it was believed that they are threats to those so-called big schools. You see, I love Nigerians for one thing. They are always proactive in their thinking. When we discovered that there was much decay and decline in the growth of schools, now other people said, okay, if there are no schools for our children to go, I can provide the service. You can provide the service, I can provide the service, he can provide the service, everybody can provide the service. Just like the ICANN motto says, I can if you can. If a big school can give to big children a big school, I can cater for the poor children, a poor man's school that will grow at its own pace. So they now felt threatened that this is making even the so-called rich man or woman to say, oh, I can still save the amount I spend on my child education to get the same thing I'm getting at a higher cost.
Okay.
So they felt threatened and they gave us the name Mushroom School. And if I must tell you, as a Yoruba man, mushroom is quite better than meat. Mushroom is quite better than meat.
Meat school.
Because when you eat meat,
yes,
you become obese. But when you eat mushroom, you are you gain a lot of nutrition. So because they say we are mushroom schools and we give our 1000% to make sure that what we lack in terms of facility, what we lack in terms of building, what we lack in terms of funding, we are not lacking in terms of the discharge of our duties.
All right, sir. Viewers, you heard from the president of this association, the INTAP, talking about the Olumide, talking about the importance of the mushroom and that of the meat. Of course, that is just the policy here we're going to consider in this meeting and this gathering today. We'll be going on this break, and when we return, I want to ask the B.O.T Chairman to tell us how many of such associations do we have in our states. Stay with us. Education, they say, is the key to success. In view of this, the Association of Private School Owners, APCO, now known as International Association of Private Schools Proprietors and Proprietors, INTAPS, announces the official inauguration of Lagos State Chapter on Wednesday, 10 March 2021. Venue, Shalom Event Center, Unity Bus Stop, opposite Igondo General Hospital, Igondo, Lagos. Time, 12 p.m. prompt. under the distinguished chairmanship of Comrade Amos Adediji and Madam Junus Bello, the national president of INTAPS, Princess Ademola Adeyemi Atalobo as the B.O.T Comhead 2021 Transition Committee Lagos, Mr. Olumide Oladipupo, INTAPS incoming president. It promising to be a time of academic reawakening and passion for educational renaissance. Come along with friends and relatives to be a part of this promising inauguration ceremony. Don't be left out. Be there.
Yeah, welcome back. Many of our government leaders find it very, very difficult to allow private individuals to come in with whatever it is they know how to do well, just to help them do something better or something quite different. Of course, I want to believe that the issue of private education in Nigeria, as it were, was not really having a welcoming door at the onset. There were challenges, and these challenges led to so many things in the academic environment. Of course, right in the house here, I will want the Comrade Amos to just tell us how many of such associations do we have in Nigeria that is really looking for channels to better the education lives of our children. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you. Nigeria precisely, I won't be able to say how many, but in Lagos State.
Okay, precisely.
Precisely.
Okay.
I think we have almost 18 associations of school owners in Lagos State. 18.
Okay.
And the 18 are being brought together by the Lagos State Ministry of Education for dissemination of informations, for updating us, and for telling us, informing us what the government requires of us.
Okay.
And we meet regularly. Not all the executive members, they send messages to the president or the chairman of each association, and briefing them, informing them, and they will come back home to each associations and relay the information.
All right. Okay, that is what happens in Lagos State. All right. Let me get to the president. Now, the government is saying, go out, form associations. Let's be feeding you on what to do. So, will you say in earnest that they mean what they say practically?
Well, we are educational practitioners, and we must be able, since we teach people to endure, since we teach children to persevere, since we teach them to be hopeful, so we keep trusting and believing that it shall be for the reason they have called us together.
Okay.
The reason of robbing minds, the reason not just to give information down, but to divulge information from down to the topmost hierarchy. So when that is done at a date that God knows, then we will say we'll have achieved the best. But as it is now, we are still taking it as it comes.
Okay.
At times they hear us, at times they just give the others.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we come to a meeting point. But gradually, like a Frenchman will say, petit à petit, l'oiseau fait son nid. Little by little, the bird casts its net.
Thank you for that interpretation, because I know some of you don't know French. Let's move on, sir.
Okay.
So with that, we will get there.
Okay.
It can only take time. Nobody knew there will be a time that they will say answers.
Okay.
Nobody knew a time will come that those schools will be closed, church will close, mosque will close. But when the time came, there was realignment and readjustment. So we believe a time will come that will doff our hearts and say, oh, Father, it is to your glory.
All right. Now, let me also add here by this question. This association, is it limiting itself to just the primary and the nursery, or does it cover the secondary education also? This association?
It begins from the basics, which is crèche.
The crèche?
To nursery and primary.
Okay.
We have the secondary school
Okay.
So all of them is galvanized.
All right, sir. You've been appointed or nominated as the president of this association in Lagos State. Elected. I beg your pardon, viewers. You've been elected into that office as the president. What are your synopses in the next 100 days? What do you intend to do otherwise that will bring change?
In the next 100 days,
yes,
we intend having our programs like my own team met last Wednesday. We have synergized our program just to be inaugurated, and we meet with the B.O.T and the National EXCOS so that there can be a synergy of activity.
Good.
What we intend to do, firstly, we want to spring up competitions that will make each school stand on their toes. Competitions that will make each school want to know that, oh, my school is the best. Healthy rivalry right now. That's what we are stringing up. Because there will be inter-schools competitions, either in sports, spelling bees, Scrabble, and so many others.
Yes.
There's going to be inter-schools staff recognition, whereby all the schools under our umbrella will come together and award our teachers with award of best nomination and so many others to be given at a particular point in time. So all this, when you look at it, will bring about good relationship, working relationship with our proprietors, whereby I will not see him as a threat, but I will see him as a ladder for me to do better.
A compliment.
A compliment. Not, we are talking about a symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
Whereby I gain from him, he gains from me.
You too, yeah.
Mutual development. So when we do that, discover that the schools will all grow at their own pace, because there will be what we call this excursion programs, camping programs, so many other things.
I think I remember in my days in school, we normally have this quiz.
Yes.
You know, they call it quiz competitions.
Debates.
We have excursions, debates, and it was quite funny at the time. So these are some of the things.
These are some of those things we are bringing back to life. And once it comes back to life, discover that wow, it's going to be a wow thing.
All right. Now let me know, whom are you possibly competing with? Is it the schools under your association, or you crisscross to other associations to do some of this?
Initially, we have to take care of our own.
Okay.
So once our home is in good state, then it's just a step at a time. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a footstep.
Okay.
So let's make our home front solid first.
All right. I think let me get to the chairman. When the president was talking, he made mention of inauguration next week. Take us there. Take us there. Inauguration for what? He's been appointed. He's been elected rather. Inauguration for what?
You see, let us take Nigeria as an example. If a president is voted in or is elected,
okay, there
is a period within that election and inauguration.
Okay. So
he has been elected and he needs to be inaugurated with other EXCO members.
Okay.
Whereby the mantle of leadership will be released onto him to perform, to operate effectively.
Okay.
And that is why Wednesday 10th of March at Shalom Park, Igado, Sherry Road.
So can you please take the address for our viewers who may want to be there? Let them just get the proper address of the inauguration venue.
Either you are coming from Iyanaba or you are coming from Iyanapaja Ebeda, just right through Iyanaba Express Road, Lasu Iyanaba Express Road. Then near the General Hospital, Igado General Hospital, adjacent, opposite, you will see Shalom Park.
Okay.
That is where the venue that the event is taking place on Wednesday 12 noon.
Okay. Now that is the venue for the inauguration. Where is your secretariat? Where do you operate from?
Secretariat, our secretariat is Umani Plaza.
Okay.
Opposite NYSC Igando Orientation camp, but now annexed it.
Okay.
So directly opposite it, then you will see the plaza, Woman Plaza,
Okay.
the second floor. That is our secretariat.
So that is where every state activities.
Every state
take place.
activities,
All right.
fortnights.
Okay. On the 10th of March, he's going to be inducted.
Yes.
Into the association proper,
Yeah.
and that is just it. With how many cabinets? How many EXCOs is he working with? Is he working alone?
The EXCO members, he will be able by himself to tell us.
All right. So, President, over to you.
Well,
Name your ministers to our viewers.
I know we are quite many,
Okay.
so I only mention a few.
Okay.
A few in the sense that I'll be having my Honorable General, Malam, no, that is the national president, Malam Bakari, who is going to be my vice.
Okay.
Mrs. Adediji, who is going to be the secretary. Mrs. Olatoke, the treasurer, amongst others.
Okay.
There are so many other ones like the welfare to be headed by Deaconess Adeyemi, and so on and so forth. So we have a quite larger EXCO, but we are not here to talk about each person individually.
So it's going to be a fun-filled
By His grace.
inauguration where
By God.
responsibilities will be given to men. I wish.
Newcomers are also invited. So,
Chairman, let me get to understand. What do you mean by newcomers?
we-
Like me, I'm not a teacher. Am I invited?
No.
It's
School
just the newcomers.
owners.
Who are the newcomers?
If you are school owners,
Okay.
so you are invited.
Okay.
You are invited.
All right. It's all right. Viewers, you've heard from these powerful men of the academia what they put in place to ensure that things work well. We proceed on this musical break, and when we return from this musical break, we're going to take the last lap. Stay with us.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká ronú o, a ò fẹ́ ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ̀, dákun ṣàánú wa o.
Gbogbo ọmọ Odùduwà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fi ìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Gbogbo ọmọ Odùduwà o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fi ìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Gbogbo Yorùbá pátápátá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fi ìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ẹ dákun o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbé ọ̀tẹ̀ tí tẹni mọ́lẹ̀ tí balẹ̀ ayé jẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbé ọ̀tẹ̀ tí tẹni mọ́lẹ̀ tí balẹ̀ ayé jẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ẹ má ṣe jẹ́ ká wo ti ìtàkùn o. Àní ká má má wo ti wágún. Ibi tí gbòòrò bá lọ ní ká máa bá ṣẹ́ lọ. Àkókò pátọ́ lọ́rùn ọba tó bá wa ṣe tó fi rí báyìí. Pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ dọwọ́ àró àtọ̀dọ̀ fi Yorùbá o.
Yeah, viewers, welcome back. I hope you enjoy that music. Talking straight to this program for today. Because we have a board of trustees member of this association as the chairman, we just have to ask him in his own capacity, sir, if you were to advise the government of Lagos State on the proper handling of academic issues in the state, what will your advice be?
I will advise them to continue their good job. They are doing well already. Even the quality assurance office, the monitoring, the training, accessibility to information from them, giving us time to come up without any harsh or any hammer on us. People think that it is only the man they see at the gate. Here is the security. At the toilet, we have people that are monitoring the place for security reasons. In the school compound, we have people that stand to monitor how the people are being treated and secured. And even most schools that are very close to the major roads, we have about 2 to 3 security. Because we know that any little thing that happens to a child can destabilize and disorganize the school.
Okay.
And that is why the school owners take security of the lives and property of their pupils, of their learners, very, very important. That is what we take most important. Apart from the teaching and learning, security is the next one.
Yes, but viewers, I will still opine that the board of trustee chairman of this association and the president should at least do some homework again to ensure that private school owners do their needful to protect the children. Because in some schools, we go in as journalists, just go in there, do whatever you want. They don't even know your identity. You just discover that there was no security on site. Please, it's a very good thing you've said, but then they should just wake up to ensure that they take care of these children. Some couple of months ago, precisely in October, a little child fell into a gutter here in the Abulegba area of Lagos State. Of course, they saw the dead body at command. And that was just all. If something was going on, nobody knows. The school should take the issue of security very, very paramount. So let me ask you this. In the next, immediately after the inauguration, what effort or plan do you have in the pipeline to make sure that you, in your private school, to make sure that you educate your staff members on the proper use of communication? Because a lot of the teachers don't communicate well. Sorry, they teach well, but they don't communicate well with outsiders.
Yes, you see, that is one of the first things we have set out to do, which is what? Seminars, workshops. Because at times we think we know when we don't know. But when we rub minds, even what you think you would know, by the time it is said over and over again, it now stick on that, oh, I need to work on this. So in the area of communication these days is more than just coming. Yours is biology. I used to have a girl in my school. She has never been to school. She does not know her left from her right
Before coming to your
before coming to the school, and she was matured. He said, what is all this? You ask us to be speaking English. Is it English that we go and speak in Mecca? He said, calm down. But by the time we went to her level, she became the very best students in the school. By the time they were leaving Lagos for your state, she gained double promotion over there. So all this has to do with communication. The way you relate with students, the way we relate with outsiders, the way we relate to the parents. So when we focus on the real essence of communication, on how to go about it, we have from the encoding stage to the decoding stage. Once there is no noise in between, then there will be result.
All right, thank you so very much. We seem to place much encomium on the Lagos State Ministry of Education. I want the chairman to say something in terms of appreciation to Lagos State, because they seem to have done very, very much.
Lagos State government, kudos to you, because you allow freedom of operation without any stress. In fact, you give every school in Lagos State, as long as they are obeying your policy, freedom to impart knowledge on these children. So kudos to you. So we really appreciate you. Lagos State Ministry of Education. Lagos State Ministry of Education, we appreciate you have done so well and you continue to do well. In fact, our amiable governor, Governor Baba Ide Sanwo-Olu, kudos to you. Keep on moving. And all the commissioner of education and all the people working in the Ministry of Environment and the local government, we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear the final lap from the president. Your final word to our viewers.
One thing we want to reassure you is that vibrancy will come back to school. What do we mean by vibrancy? Giving the best of our best to the students, giving the best of our best to the society, giving the best of our best to our generations yet unborn, because children are the leaders of tomorrow. By the time we give them the best of today, then tomorrow is assured. So that tomorrow shall be better for us all, and we have a better nation in the nearest future as we prepare today for tomorrow to come. Thank you and God bless.
And that is how far we can go. Do not forget that on Wednesday, the 10th of March 2021, this association will be having their inauguration at the address that was mentioned before, Shalom Event Center, Unity Bus Stop, opposite Igondo General Hospital, Igondo, Lagos. Do all you could to be a part of this groundbreaking inauguration of the new EXCOS. Education, they say, is the key to success. In view of this, the Association of Private School Owners, APCO, now known as International Association of Private Schools Proprietors and Proprietors, INTAPS, announces the official inauguration of Lagos State Chapter on Wednesday, 10 March 2021. Venue, Shalom Event Center, Unity Bus Stop, opposite Igondo General Hospital, Igondo, Lagos. Time 12 p.m. prompt. Under the distinguished chairmanship of Comrade Amos Adediji and Madam Junus Bello, the National President of INTAPSPP, Princess Ademola Adeyemi Atalobo as the B.O.T Comrade 2021 Transition Committee, Lagos. Mr. Olumide Oladipupo, INTAPSPP incoming President. It promising to be a time of academic reawakening and passion for educational renaissance. Come along with friends and relatives to be a part of this promising inauguration ceremony. Don't be left out. Be there. We will be having this program from time to time to talk about the way forward of our children's education. Do all the best you could to stay without race. Prince Will, our is the name.